Hi guys, welcome to this session on Microsoft Excel. In this module, I want to have a quick look at the spill error message and how array formulas now work in Office 365. So first off, I've got a basic if statement here. You can see there's some name ranges. So these figures are called sales. This area is called bonus. So a straightforward if statement. If sales is greater than 21,000, look at sales and get 10% of it. So what happened when Excel's version in Office 365 and 16 and 19 changed, you started getting a little @ sign appearing in formulas from older spreadsheets, and you also started to get an error message coming up like this. So I can't actually delete this list unless I delete the whole list. So if I try and delete half of this list, it won't let me. Now, if I delete all of it and just do it how it will now work, if I type that formula in, equals if sales is greater than 21,000, if that's true, look at sales and times it by 10%, otherwise do nothing, close the bracket, click the tick, it automatically fills it down. So that is what's called an array formula. Now, if I undo that a minute and just do that again, equals if sales is greater than 21,000, comma, if that's true, sales times 10%, otherwise 0. I'll tick that, automatically drops it down. Now, if there was anything in the way of that formula, so if I undo it again, so if I put a number there, say, what will happen now is equals if, open bracket, sales is greater than 21,000, comma, sales times 10%, otherwise nothing, close bracket, click the tick. You get this spill feature coming up. Now what spill means is that the array formula hasn't got enough space to fill it down to the bottom there, because that is in the way. So I delete that, it then works, it fills it down. So when you see spill, it means there's not enough space for the array formula to give you all the results. Now it's quite irritating sometimes when you're trying to get rid of things and if you made a change up there, for example, if I change that to 20%, it just recalculates. But in the older versions, if you've got an old spreadsheet, what will happen is you'll get this sign coming up in front of the cell references, which now is just one line. It's no longer an array formula. So Excel automatically puts that in any old formulas or older versions of Excel it finds. And then you can pull that down as normal, as you would expect to do. But if you are trying to change an array formula, you might find it slightly difficult. If you have got a spill, say there's some stuff down here, it will bang into it and it will cause an error. And until you get rid of that data, you'll have to put these @ signs on to stop it doing the array formula. Now, a couple of examples about how it works. If I go try to get how many unique names there are in this list, obviously Saxton, my name is repeated a few times. So the unique function is an array function. Just look at that list and then just tick the formula, and it just does the array formula. Now it's only showing me the people that are unique in that list. Do it again on this column, how many unique items are in this column. You can see that there are only 2. So if I go equals unique again, open the bracket, select the array, I'm just going to click the tick. You notice how it's picked that up there, look. I selected the array, it's put E2, and the little hash sign is showing that as an array formula. And let's give you the 2 options there. So if I put somebody else's name in there, it comes out at the bottom there, there's just one green. Do that. Now the len function is the length of a text string. So if I show you this one, if equals len you want to know what the length of that is. So I suppose I should close the brackets, bad practice. It just tells you there. But you can also do this. Now, then you would have to pull that down. You would pull that down, and that's an extra step. You get the same result. So if I type equals len now with the array function, I can highlight all of them and then click the tick, and it just drops them in, giving you the length. And same with how many well dones there are, what's the length on there. Now in terms of Vlookup, here's the Vlookup. So I've got some named cells here. This one's called, not that one, sorry. This list is called input. This table at the bottom is called data. And then basically there's an if statement with the @ sign on. So that's just looking at one value. So if I take this @ sign off, so it's going to do the array formula. I'll tick that. It's coming up with spill because below it there is all this other stuff, all these single @ sign formulas. So for that to work, I will have to take that off, delete them. So then it works. And then because the if statement on this one is hiding, if the input is 0, which it is there and there and there, it's hiding it. So if I put a code in there, it then shows it and give you the price there at the end. I've deleted the price off that one for some reason. There you go. So if the @ sign on it, it's just a single row. If you take the @ sign off it and type it out, it does the array formula. As long as it can populate the area that it should be populating, it will work. If it can't, it comes up with the word spill. Now on this one of the features, this is a table on the right there called address table, and there's a client ID. Normally you would say, you'd do something like this, equals Vlookup, open the bracket, look at the client ID, match it with address table, and then you would put which column you want, and then 0 for an exact match, and then you tick that, and it puts Mr. Jones in. Then you would pull that down maybe, or you might have a row function in there, or you might put a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in there, and it will change to 1, 2, 3 Bowden Lane, Bradford, and so on. But what you can do with an array formula is you can do this. Instead of putting 2 there, just 2, do a squiggly open bracket, and then comma 3, comma 4, comma 5, comma 6, close squiggly bracket. So that'll then spill this because there's it's going across instead of down, because I made a mistake there. So if I want that to come down, I don't use a comma, I use a semicolon, 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 and semicolon. So the spill came up because it hit client ID, surname and address, so it couldn't fill it in. Now there's nothing there, so it's just dropped that down. So semicolon to come down the rows, just a comma to go across. So just so you can see that one, I'll do it. If I do it the other way from down here, Vlookup, still looking at client ID, still looking at the address table, comma. So now I want squiggly bracket open, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with a comma, close squiggly bracket, comma, 0 for exact, and then you can see it just drops it across that way. That's why it came up with the word spill. Now same with Hlookup. This is a table here where called that PC records. This one is called PC, and you have there just a straightforward Hlookup. So on a Hlookup you're looking at a row number, so it's looking at PC, PC5, looking at the table called PC records, and looking at row 2. So PC5 row 2 is 8 gigabytes. And again, if you pull that down, it will just repeat itself because you're not changing the number. So I'm going to change the number in there. Open the squiggly bracket. I do want 2, so I'm coming down, so I need a semicolon. Semicolon 3, semicolon 4, semicolon 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can't remember how many there are, but that'll do. And I've got a fault with that. Row index number 2 of them. Miss one out, did 2 of them. Yeah, I needed to go further down than that, but you get the idea. The semicolon brings it down, the comma takes it across. So that's how you can fill that in. So if you're getting the word spill in your formulas, so if I do that, if I put something in there, remember, I take these @ signs off, so then it'll do the array formula. It's now not looking at a single value. Comes up with spill because it's hitting this and there's not enough space for it to do its business in there, so you have to delete that, and then it will fill it down and do the array formula for it. So I hope that was useful and explained basically why you get this spill coming up, because it really confused me until I got my head around it a little bit. And that's the end of this session. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you on the next one.